Greetings in the name of Jesus. My name is Pastor Amresh from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today I want to share with you what happened when you contact a Christian organization which is supposed to help the persecuted Christian around the world and what response you get. Bangladesh is probably known mainly a Muslim country with a population of over 170 million people and a very small population of Christianity. First of all, let me tell you the story of how I get contact with this Christian organization called Voice of Martyrs. I was working in my country of Bangladesh as a volunteer as part of a Christian ministry called FTGC, which stands for Fulfilling the Great Commission, which is a ministry established to show Jesus movie through the use of projector to people in Bangladesh and mainly non-believers. One pastor who is friend of mine and who live in the city of Bogura, which is one of the largest city in the Bangladesh, was very active in ministry by showing Jesus movie in his community. One day in 2024, a mob of Muslims attacked his wife and son, and his son was beaten so badly that he ended up in the hospital. Once I heard that sad incident, I informed the coordinator of FTGC, who is Romanian brother, and I asked him if he could help with this situation. This brother informed me that I should actually contact the Voice of Martyrs, which is a Christian organization which was established to help the persecuted Christian all over the world. He supplied me with the contact details of Voice of the Martyr in various countries in United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdom. So I sent all them email and they informed them the situation and asking them for some help for for myself, but for the pastor whose wife and son were attacked by the Muslim mob. Out of all the organizations that I have contacted, only one replied from United States, but did not offer any help, only asked a few questions and never bothered or investigate further. I was telling them all my information which church I am part of, so this information can be verified not necessarily through me but through the leadership of church that I belongs to. Again, none of them responded. So I informed the Romanian brother about the situation and he encouraged me to send around another round of the email again to the organization called Voice of Martyrs, which I did. And I sent not just one United States, but every single one of them that provide me the details of the Voice of Martyrs, like Canada, Voice of Martyrs, New Zealand, Voice of Martyrs, Australia, every other countries, organization that there is there. This time, not one of them responded, not even one of the from United States. I was surprised and disappointed when I heard this, and I got in touch with the Romanian brother and I told him about this. This brother sent me money to cover this cost of hospital bills, and afterward he even flew to Bangladesh and he met with the Bogura pastor and he was able to encourage the pastor and his wife and his son. He also donated a little bit more money to help with the ongoing expenses after the hospitalization of his son. During this distressful time of the pastor and his family, it was very comforting for him to receive guests who share in the concern for what his wife and his son went through. I was expecting some of the help Voice of Martyr can do, but none came, not even acknowledgement or encouragement, nothing. I'm not talking about the small organization, but it's a big organization, which large organization, an organization which is according to their own record, they publish on their own website in 2023 have received over 80 million in donation. This organization also paid its CEO Cole Richard in 2023 $211,000 plus employer provide benefit about the $35,000. These figures are taken from Voice of Martyrs' very own website. I feel like you too should know about what is happening with the Voice of Martyrs as well, meaning Christian who donate to this organization, you should perhaps consider or reconsider whether you should support this organization. Voice of Martyr is started out under the leadership of very faithful Christian pastor named Richard Umbran, who himself was imprisoned for his faith in communist Romania. After the death of Richard Umbran and the under of leadership, its new leader thing started to change at Voice of Martyr. You can find out all these things in their website, searching in online Voice of Martyrs scandal. Following the death of Richard Umbran, so many things started to change at Voice of Martyr. I was only mentioned two things, so you can judge for yourself about Voice of Martyr. First is that Voice of Martyrs is spent about $20 million of dollar for building a new building for itself, new headquarters. This building they built with the money donated for the persecuted Christian. Let's pause here for a second and think about this. An agency that collects money to help the persecuted Christian is spent $20 million to build an extremely expensive building with the fund that they should have gone to the persecuted Christian. What is more problematic with this, that almost no one in Christian circle seems to talk about this. You have pastors who receive a lot of fair criticism for spending money on lavish houses, on private plane, on fancy church building, and yet almost no one seems to be bothered by this. I wonder what it would be take for some donors to wake up and take a look at this corrupt activity that is going on at Voice of Martyr. Such a waste of money would be unthinkable under the leadership of founder of Voice of Martyrs, the great man of faith, Richard Umbran. And this brings me to second point, which was the mention to me by a Christian friend of mine, himself an ex-donor to Voice of Martyr. What he said to convince me him about the level of corruption of Voice of Martyr was again another fact that almost no one seems to talk about. And this is Voice of Martyrs actually fired the son of its very own founder, the son of Richard Umbran, when he asked for an investigation into the corrupt practice of these leaders. Please pause for a second and think about this. The organization called Voice of Martyr that was founded by Richard Umbran that brings millions of dollars in help for the persecuted Christian all over the world is the same organization that seeks the son of his own founder. Especially if you are a pastor, especially if by chance you are some Christian investigator for a magazine, this is a story that need to be told, because ultimately the one that are suffering the most are the one this organization meant to have. The organization is persecuting them even more, not releasing the fund donated by good meaning of Christian brothers and sisters all over the world. Now, if you have listened to me so far, I want to encourage you to contact of the Voice of Martyrs themselves or ask what kind of exact help do they offer to persecuted Christian. When they get contacted, why haven't they helped my fellow pastor in Bogura when his wife and his son got attacked by a Muslim mob, basically being a persecuted and suffering because of Christian faith? This is, I believe, is not only a story that Voice of Martyrs ignored, but more than that, please use this opportunity to think of yourself whether you should still be supporting this organization that is not doing their job properly, that is covering up the abuse by one of the leaders, and also the way that they erroneously spend the money not to help the persecuted Christian but to build that extremely expensive building with the fund collected for the persecuted. The people that are in church of the Voice of Martyr are the one that are destroying the legacy of Richard Umbran. The only way you can help stop this injustice is by looking for yourself into the Voice of Martyrs scandals, talking about it, by distributing this video, by letting others know about it, by telling your friend that you know who donate to the Voice of Martyrs, investigate for themselves and find out for themselves what kind of corrupt organization Voice of Martyrs has become, which is totally different from the time of Richard Umbram was leading the organization. In the end, I want to encourage you to send email to Voice of the Martyrs to publish this video, so that through my humble expose, due to the sad interaction with the Voice of Martyrs, others will come to understand how this organization is actually becoming extremely corrupted and are not helping those that are in highest need to help the persecuted brothers and sisters all over the world. It is extremely difficult to receive any help from Voice of the Martyrs, who just give you the cold shoulder whenever you send them an email asking to them investigate. Then never try to find out any information to see whether the need presented to themselves is real. They just simply do not answer any emails, and they just simply ignore all the requests that I brought to them. From what I have seen, Voice of Martyr is quick to act whenever it is criticized. A whistleblower from the Voice of Martyr named Jason Peters, who is a Voice of Martyr former chief of connection, has made a video and posted in a YouTube, but had to take it down. Insert the screenshot I am attaching below, which are taken from this website, executive calls and resignation time clean, this and that. If you are okay with this, then yes, feel free to ignore this video and not to share it or distribute it. But if you think this is a great injustice, not just a legacy of Richard Umbram, but a big injustice to the persecuted Christian brothers and sisters all over the world, then please distribute this. Please contact Voice of Martyrs. Please talk to your pastor about it. Please maybe post it on your social media account, or do your own video, do your own investigation, and let's join hand in remembering our brothers and sisters who are being persecuted, for whom help is being sent. But it is actually not being sent by the corrupt organization called Voice of the Martyrs. God bless you. With wisdom and understanding, let's all unite to fight the good fight and help those in need. If you want to find out more information about me, you can Google me. My name is Pastor Martyrs Roy. You can contact the leaders of my church, and I can also give you the additional information if you need to. God bless you all. May you play your part in the helping bring to light to the injustice our brothers and sisters are suffering at the hands of a corrupt leadership. Thank you.